I lost $300 today, and I should say that I'm not happy about it, but it happened. And I will share how and why on this segment of the Gig Geezer. When I've shared experiences like with maintenance and with actual repair situations, I think folk kind of gloss over it because, well, first of all, it didn't happen to them. And it's kind of like the old World War II thing where there were life insurance policies that were actually offered to people who went abroad to fight. And 75-80% of the people who were offered it did not take up on the policies. And those 75-80% of people ended up dead because they were thinking, well, it won't happen to me. And, you know, when you're out here doing what you're doing, be it delivering transport space, or whatever you're doing in which your vehicle is the means by which you conduct your business, this is your money. This is your money. I did a segment on the Gig Geezer where I said your van is your money. But this is your money. My most recent segment of the Gig Geezer, I showed how, all right, I documented how I spent the best $500 of my life, which occurred yesterday, in which mechanic diagnosed a problem and fixed a problem that totaled $500, and I was back driving again. And I'm thinking this morning as I'm heading out to opportunities that I had set up that, okay, you know, it's nice to be back in the van. You know, I'm heading, doing what I need to do. But then shit happens. Shit happens. And so what I'm going to do is take you to well, it's not real time now because this is now like almost, it's about 2 hours after the fact. Because this shit all happened within a span of 2 hours from when it happened and me now doing like what's really the epilogue. But through the modern miracle of editing, you'll get the full context of this experience and why I said I lost $300 today. Alrighty, I am on the side of the fucking freeway. Today is Wednesday, March 26, 2025. And I was actually en route to one of two catering opportunities, both of which now I've had to cancel because of a freak fucking issue with my van. This little piece here, this long odd shaped piece, and I've got it on the inside here, is a line that hooks from the radiator reservoir and goes into the radiator, and apparently it cracked. The connection that goes into the radiator cracked and starts spewing. And what happened was I got the engine light came on and it starts sputtering. The engine started sputtering. I'm thinking, oh shit, no, it can't be what I'm thinking. That something that I just had fixed with an ignition coil on the number 4 cylinder. So while I'm driving, I put in my diagnostic device, and it gives me a code of P1299. And I looked that up, and it's telling me cooling system issue, major cooling system issue, and the engine's about to go into shutdown mode. And then I look at the temperature gauge, and it's almost near red, and I'm like, oh shit, this is serious. And the funny thing about it is that I'd gone to Walmart just before getting on the freeway to buy a couple of gallons of radiator fluid because I like to keep a good supply for all the vehicles, and I happened to use one for my Queens vehicle a while back, and so I knew I was down actually 2 gallons of radiator fluid. And so I've got 3 in here, and that should be more than enough to get me back going again. But it's the fact that I am on the side of the road. Of course, with a Ford Transit 250, the old joke about Fords are found on the road dead. Well, the vehicle ain't dead, but I had radiator fluid spewed all over the engine and on the ground, and I looked first to find out where the water was coming from. And rule of thumb, if it's dead smack in the middle under your vehicle and you see radiator fluid, that means there's a good chance it's a water pump that's gone bad. It wasn't there. I saw it all up on the engine, spewed out all over the place, and so I'm looking for whether the hose had gone bad on me. And then I looked, of all places, it would not have occurred to me, but I looked where the water was spraying from, and there's a connection piece where it broke. Don't ask me why or how, but this motherfucker's broke. So yeah, I'm recording this in the moment and all. But I mean, hey, if I'm going to document experiences, this is yet another experience. Now, I don't know how much this piece costs, but it probably won't cost an arm and a leg. But something like this can cost you an engine when it's all said and done if it's not addressed. And so I missed out on $160 worth of earnings opportunity. Of course, I feel that I can earn that money back. I'm more than confident I can earn that money back, but it's just the fact that this shit happened. And so now I'm waiting for my queen to pick me up on the side of the road, take me to a part shop that's not far from here. And the funny thing about it is that where I'm at, there's a freeway interchange to the back of me, and then there's an off ramp that's ahead of me, and I'm in between both of them. So, and when you get off of there, there's a part shop that is. There's 2 part shops as you get off the freeway within seconds of getting off the freeway. So that's the cool thing about it. I don't know what this part is, but I know that it's a connection to the radiator reservoir. So when I come back, I will update and let you know exactly if that was the issue. I'm pretty sure it was. I noticed when I took this piece out on this end, which hooks into the radiator reservoir, it had cracked. When I took it out, it broke off in there. So I happen to have a pick to get it out. And what I mean by pick, last year I happened to buy some picks when I was working on the when I was changing spark plugs. A set of picks like this of different angles, and so that helped me out. But this end was broke off. That went into the radiator. So interesting experience so far. What a way to start a Wednesday. All right. It looks like that I am back rolling again. I guess you can see the frustration on my part because I missed out on $160 and spent damn near as much just to get this van rolling again. What had happened was, as you see on the inset, and you see where the arrow's pointing, that was a radiator coolant hose, not of the traditional type where you had a big, thick rubber piece that goes into either the top or the bottom of the radiator. This was that thin plastic shit, but it's a thin plastic shit that's obviously of a high pressure line, and you know they say pressure busts pipes, and obviously pressure busted that pipe over time, apparently over 6 years, and that piece cost me $127. I went to a part shop that was not far from here as I described. They didn't have it, so I knew then that it would be a Ford issue, and then I'd have to go to a Ford lot. And anybody knows anything about when you go to the dealership, you're paying 2 to 3 times markup. So the actual cost of that piece was anywhere between $40 and $50, and I paid it was $127, and that included the tax that went with it. It cost me almost 2 gallons of radiator fluid, and I'm telling you, I'd gone to Walmart to buy radiator fluid. Don't ask me why I went ahead and bought radiator fluid this morning, but that was on my mind because I had some time before going to the the scheduled catering opportunities, and I bought 2 gallons of radiator fluid, not knowing that I would need damn near both of them to remedy what was an immediate acute emergency. So I've seen some other opportunities come across my phone screen that I could not respond to. Talk about shit happens. Shit happens. And the funny thing about it, this flies in the face of my previous video that I put out this morning. Again, Wednesday, March 26, 2025, where I talk about options. What's my next move? Adding a box truck among my options. And I just got the van back running yesterday, and then this happens. And I mean, sometimes you're at a loss for words. And by the way, I mentioned in the other video about the fuel injector that I'd replaced. This is a fuel injector, $60 part. At the end of this would be where that O-ring that I described was an issue. It would be a blue O-ring seal that'd be at the base, and that seals off. Of course, it helps ensure enough fuel, pressure. It seals the pressure to the within the fuel line so that fuel can hit the injectors, because all this shit is under high pressure. And $60. You go to a dealership or some mechanic, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg for something that could be done if you're able to do so. And I always qualify by saying, if you're able to do so. And I was able to do it, but obviously I did something wrong, and I had added more work that needed to be done. But anyway, I'm heading back to the Geezer compound simply because, I mean, when shit goes like this, I just turn around and go back to the house and try to hit the reset button. And some days it works. And then, if I don't make any money, we know why. It's easy also, before I end this segment, it's easy also to make certain rationalizations. But the fact of the matter is, this could happen anywhere. And let's say I was in the middle of the night and this happened. I'd have to wait until the next morning. Hopefully, to be able to remedy the situation, and not knowing whether I needed the vehicle towed or not. And what I found out with my roadside assistance plan is that if your vehicle requires towing beyond 15 miles, they hit you with a surcharge. It used to be with certain insurance carriers, you had a 100-mile radius for free towing. In some cases, what they'll do is they give you an allowance for roadside assistance situation for towing up to $250. It all depends on the carrier. But this carrier charges you a surcharge. In fact, with the box truck, with the van, when it was towed to the mechanic on Sunday, the distance was 15.8 miles, and I was surcharged $30. So there you go. Yes, I'm back driving again. I'm actually here in the parking lot of Walmart, having gone and replaced those 2 gallons of radiator fluid that I actually bought this morning, like about 3 hours ago. Yeah, so that's the crazy thing. In the span of 3 hours, I bought 2 gallons of radiator fluid, calling myself replenishing what I needed to replenish, and then having to come back and replace those 2 gallons that I use. Is actually like 1 3/4 gallons, but replace those 2 gallon containers of radiator fluid. But the lesson in all this is, you don't know when things are going to happen when you're out there. And in this case, I guess somebody was looking out for me. Somebody had to been looking out for me, because when you're going through something like this, and this is happening as you're driving at 75 mile an hour on the freeway, obviously you got to have a cool head. You got to be thinking fast. You talk about thinking on your feet, thinking fast on your feet. You're literally having to think real fast and keep a cool head at the same time. And that's what happened.
I'm driving. I noticed the light comes on. In fact, the light comes on and me pulling over to the side of the freeway all occurred within about a mile. So that's another thing. I'm driving at 70, 75 mile an hour. This all occurs within about a mile. And that probably helped as well, because I could have easily ignored the signs and kept on driving, and then next thing you know, the engine blows up on me while I'm really much farther down the road. But that didn't happen. And then you think about, I start the day off coming here to get the radiator fluid, totally unaware of what was to come. But I'll let you be the judge of that. And while I'm at it, I'll welcome your comments in the section below on this. And, well, if you happen to like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up. Share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. So, yeah, I lost $300. I lost exactly $168. I lost $290 today. Actually, it's more than that now. 300, I said. 168 in catering opportunities, because they were back to back. One was paying 108, the other was paying 60. And then I spent 127 on that high pressure line, and then another 15 to replace the radiator fluid that I'd purchased earlier. So you're talking now 142, yeah, so $300. So those are your numbers. Yeah, those are your numbers, man. And as of right now, I've not seen anything come out that will replace the money. But again, shit happens. These things happen. And the challenge is to keep going and have confidence that you'll make that money up and more. And again, so if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer and any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm in Wood Lane as always. May your grind and may your hustle continue.